This webinar will address how to submit a plan application using the Online Assigned Risk, or OAR, platform. The OAR application process replicates and ultimately populates an Accord 133NJ and includes 6 primary sections. Section 1 addresses business information. Section 2 addresses the insurance history of the employer. Section 3 are general information questions related to the operation of the employer. Section 4 is the premium calculation page. Section 5 addresses the notice of election for officers of the employer. Section 6 are the broker's statements and agreements with respect to the information being submitted. There are additional tabs addressing an employee leasing supplemental and trucking supplemental. And finally, a tab for any additional information being submitted with the risk. In order to initiate an application to the plan via OAR, the user must log in on the OAR homepage, accessed via the CRIB website at www.njcrib.com. Once logged in, the user will be brought to the submission landing page. Here, the user may continue an already started application, or, in the primary freeze, create a new application. The user is then brought to Section 1 of the OAR platform. An effective date must be entered, an employer email is required, and then information related to the business of the employer is entered, including the applicant name, FEIN number, the mailing address, principal location, date that the operation began, as well as legal status needs to be entered. Section 1 continues, requiring the physical location of the employer, how books and records are maintained, and finally, the ownership of the employer. When all information has been entered into Section 1, the user will hit Save and Continue. Section 2 addresses the insurance record of the employer. Assuming prior coverage, information related to prior policies is required. In order for an employer to be eligible for the plan, 3 declinations from voluntary insurance carriers is required, and information related to those carriers is requested at the bottom of Section 2. Once all the information has been completed, the user will hit Save and Continue. Section 3 addresses general information questions related to the operations of the employer. A description of the business and operations is required. The additional questions at the bottom of the page address the history and ownership of the entity. In instances where the employer is involved in employee leasing or trucking, an answer in the affirmative will then prompt the additional tabs for employee leasing and trucking to be activated, and the user will need to fill out those additional tabs. When all answers and information have been provided, the user will hit Save and Continue to progress to Section 4. This section addresses the premium calculation for the employer and first requires the current or prior policy classification history. The lower portion of Section 4 addresses the estimated annual premium or projected payroll for the employer. The calculation is automatic, and deposit premium is established at the bottom of the page. When all payroll and classification information have been presented, the user will hit Save and Continue. Section 5 addresses the notice of election for individuals in a sole proprietor, partners in a partnership, and members of an LLC. When election or rejection of coverage has been identified and the corporate officer information has been supplied, the user will hit Save and Continue to progress. Section 6 is utilized when a producer is submitting the application and is the statement and agreements component with respect to the information being submitted. It requires information related to the agency as well as the producer's name, New Jersey license, national producer number, and an electronic signature from the producer submitting the application. When all the information is submitted, the user will hit Save and Continue. When necessary, the final tab of the OAR platform provides the user with the opportunity to upload additional information related to the operations of the employer. When this information has been uploaded, the user will then hit View and Submit. OAR provides the user with the opportunity to review all information submitted in the application form. Assuming the accuracy of all information on the application, the user hits Submit and the application is sent. The submission of the application will prompt an automatic email response confirming that the application has been received. The NJ Crib will then review the application for acceptability. Upon completion of the review process by a plan underwriter and acceptance of the submission for assignment in the plan, the provided email will be sent indicating that coverage has been approved pending payment. The user has 48 hours to make payment, and the payment process may be initiated via the email that is sent. The user would need to click on the Make Payment link, which will take the user to the OAR website, where the user will need to log in. The user will then be brought to the submission landing page. Here, the status of the application will be changed to assigned pending payment, and the user will be able to initiate the payment process by clicking on the money icon on the far right of the landing page under the Select Options section. The user will be brought to the Initiate Payment screen, which will provide an indication of the minimum amount due and will provide a tab to begin the payment process. The user will then be brought to the payment screen. The payment information and payment amount, as well as contact information for the employer and banking information, including a routing number and bank account information, needs to be submitted. When all appropriate fields are completed, the user pushes Continue. This prompts the payment review screen, where the prior information is represented, and assuming all information is accurate, the user will accept the terms and conditions and hit Confirm. The user will then receive a confirmation that payment has been made. The user will additionally receive a confirmation email indicating that coverage has been secured in the assigned risk plan, and will provide the assigned carrier an effective date of coverage. This will conclude the submission application process for OAR.